So, your boy Terry here. Today's video contains a question. Who is Morissette Amon to you? Some people call her Morissette Amon. You know who I'm talking about. So I'd like as many comments as possible. Please share this video with as many people as possible. I'd like feedback on who Morissette Amon is to you. Please leave comments to this effect. First, of course, I'll tell you who Morissette Amon is to me, so that we gain basis for the discussion. And well, that's what this video is about. I'm having to walk the streets today because my house is flooded. Where I usually sit and make videos is flooded, so I have to be wary of my surroundings. So let's start. Who is Morissette Amon to me? Only recently did I find her. Only recently did I start doing reaction videos. I can't remember who I started reacting to first, whether it was Katrina Velarde. No, it was Morissette Amon. Then Katrina Velarde started showing in my feed and all that. So and no, not to worry, based on my reactions of her so far, I've established who the person of Morissette Amon is, and I'll be telling you. So far, I think I've reacted to some 16 to 18 performances of Morissette Amon, and I can already tell a lot about her. These are the things I'm going to be revealing to you. Of course she's pretty, but I see prettiness more in the person of her human, who she constitutes as a person, her likable persona, which is a rarity in today's world, especially in the music industry when it has to do with celebrities. So that's really refreshing to see of Morissette Amon. Something she has kept intact, which is very evident, is her human. And that tells me a lot about her substance, because your greatness, your character is in your substance. And when that substance is deeply rooted and shaken, you will not change, even in the face of accolades, and even in the face of adulation, even where you have 10 billion followers. Your human will remain intact, and that's something Morissette has managed to do. So that's established. I see her as a beautiful person, a beautiful human. Now, what more? Another thing I see of her that spells greatness is she has given room for evolution, and it takes a lot to be able to do that. Again, you have to maintain your human to be able to give room for evolution. Seeing some of her covers from years back in comparison to more recent covers, you will see of her evolution. She has put in the hustle, the grind, and she's still putting it in. Recently I saw a reaction video of her singing Jessie J's Nobody's Perfect. Comparing it to when she sang on stage with Jessie J, Who You Are. And you'll see that she has dedicated aspects of her life to honing her craft. That song, Nobody's Perfect, is very technical, very complex to sing. But she has studied Jessie J down to her mannerisms. She has invested in a fellow human, in Jessie J. And that takes a level of humility. But many other human virtues are involved, like self-sacrifice, commitment, love. Love puts another person's interest ahead of yours. It takes love to invest your spirit and being in paying attention to another human, and that's something that is evident that Morissette has done. Seeing her, you would have seen that She has studied the likes of Mariah Carey, Jessie J, Ariana Grande. That's what I see, you know. Christina Aguilera, Beyoncé, Sia. You know, I watch many of her covers, lots of Sean. You know, she continues to marvel me, basically. You know, when I thought that Sia's Chandelier was her best performance, you know, display of her dynamism and vocal prowess, then I found Beyoncé Halo. And I thought that that's the peak. You know, she pulled that song off very cleanly, with so much character, charisma, and control. And I thought that was going to be the peak. But then I came across Nobody's Perfect, and that's on it has its own place when it comes to complexity. You know, it's a very complex song to sing. I'm not a musical guru, but this is something I can tell. You know, just having seen Jessie J sing, she has her own style to, you know, she has her own unique style, and gosh, you know, Morissette smashes it. And she was playing the guitar. She was doing it all gracefully, you know, giving full-blown respect to the song, to what music constitutes when it comes to world adjustment. She's treating music with love. You know, each syllable is well enunciated, pampered, kept whole. And she, you know, dedicates her being, her soul to making sure that respect for these words, for what more music constitutes, is intact. These are very powerful stuff. It doesn't seem so, you know, but next time you're listening to Morissette, pay close attention to the person of Morissette, more so than just her music. There are stories and histories involved. All my perception here is not based on things that I've read. It's based on just listening to her music. You know, the tiny details, the underlying context, the undertone of her sound. I hear these things, I see these things. I've not read about Morissette. This is solely based on my reaction to her videos. You know, but when I'm there on YouTube, I'm investing in a fellow human. I'm keen on, you know, paying attention to Morissette, and I do so with my spirit and my being. I grind in the process of listening to her. You know, of course, musically she's profound. There's, you know, this is already established, but a lot of that has to do with, you know, who Morissette constitutes as a person. You know, this is what comes out. You can't buy swag, you can't buy charisma. All those things are developed over time. You know, there's usually a story and even history surrounding those human virtues. You can't teach these things, you know, they just develop innate to the person. And so Morissette has done a lot of mining her human. You know, I over time, of course, I will come across her story. Someone gave me a video of her to look at that highlights her story with, but I've not seen the video. You know, I just wanted to do this video and just disclose where I've reached in learning about who Morissette is so far. Because in the end, I intend to write an entire publication, a very lengthy publication that I'm hoping will rank in the search engines, you know, all for Morissette. And I'm going to publish this on a blockchain so that this publication is immutable and indestructible and maintains permanence, you know, so that there's everlasting evidence that she was here for generations yet born. Another thing I see of her is that she has love for fellow humans. You know, you see that in her when she's doing live performances. You know, she's keen on pleasing fellow humans, appealing to their soft spots. These are great qualities, really. You know, you can go there and just display, show off your musical skills. You know, tell the world that you're the best in, you know, singing every note. But it's on a higher level when you're there to consciously appeal to the soft spot of fellow humans. You know, that's where you begin to respect music, because you know of its power in terms of world adjustments, adjusting the world. You know, so she's indeed playing her role. You know, it's a big deal, because I mean, to touch, to, you know, aspire to touch fellow humans, it's a big deal. If it wasn't a big deal, then everyone will be doing it. Another thing I've seen about Morissette is that she's a student. She understudies music. She understudies music, and it's different to understudy compared to just study. Understudy tells of grind and hustle and all of that. You know, this is very obvious. You know that squeaky part of her voice. She had to find it, and finding it requires an understudy, a measure of digging. A measure of digging, you know, exploring your sense of hearing, your human abilities in newer ways. And it also involves allowing room for flaws. You know, when you don't allow room for flaws, then you can't explore freely. You know, but it takes a lot of humility to allow room for flaws. You know, so that when these flaws arrive, you can perfect them. You know, so anyway, her voice, the squeaky part of her voice that is unique to her, she had to find it. And that tells me of substance in her character. And when you say substance in her character, that tells you of commitment. You know, these are not, we're talking of this, we're saying these words with a lot of context. You know, not just the dictionary meaning of commitment, additional context. You know, because I'm sure someone has told her no. Recently I heard that I was watching her with Jessie J, and Jessie J mentioned that she took second in The Voice. You know, you would think that Morissette will win it all. You know, that is a no, a very giant no. You know, but she kept on taking the nose and translating it into a ginormous yes. So this should be inspirational to you. She manages to inspire me. I'm hoping that, and I want to inspire others as well. You know, that's one reason for my reacting to Morissette, besides my own evolution, besides gaining insight into the beauty of creation as seen in humans, you know, besides identifying the true state of the world. You know, I want to be able to connect with fellow humans. And reacting to Morissette I just experimented that, and I'm seeing that it's gaining traction. So it's something that gladdens me. Because when we connect on the base of music, then we can, you know, further discuss. We can brainstorm and unite in our brainstorming to create something that will benefit the world and generations yet born. So you'll notice that in my videos more recently, I've been, you know, listening to songs with my spirit and being and attaining insight, which I reveal, like a proclamation, a declaration, which I reveal, with hopes that this revelation's effects breakthrough in someone's life. So that's what it has become for me, and that's what it has always been. You know, so I'll keep on doing these reactions for this sole reason. I'm going to stop here. The road is getting very rough and the audio may be terrible, so let me stop here for now and make sure to stay awesome. Please share this video and have your friends comment what they think about Morissette Amon, who she is, and leave your comments as well. Let's create a discussion, you know, that will turn into something grand. Your boy Terry.